So without further ado, let's get you started in how agent movement script is working. And to show you, uh, to show you, simply we will open the script, and in this first thing is detection radius. Since you will have an idea what is detection radius already, because I showed you in a game that right now when the game starts it has an average 6.8 float, 6.8 float uh, uh, radius difference between these two vectors. This is a position in x, and again to find the radius, find the shortest distance between these two paths. These two paths each have a vector xyz position. This has this xyz position, and the second one has another position. So the shortest distance, if it's less than 7, or in our case if it's less than 12, then what will happen is it will find the target and it will take that as a target, and we will use navigation system uh, of a unity, and that will move player our enemy directly to our player. So to do this, what we did was set detection radius here, and we can uncheck it here, and we will still be fine as detection radius is being shown here. So I will comment it here. If less than certain threshold, move move player to that threshold, move player to that move enemy to that player destination. So I hope this is clear. Again, we could have simply used this, that is public public game object, and here we could have used this, and inside here, as you can see, if I press Ctrl S here, what will happen is inside this editor you will see another field with the name player, and and this is our player, and this is an empty game object, and here we could have simply drag and drop our player game object, but since we have to store this as a prefab, and even though prefab could have worked, but in some cases if the scene changes, or that is we want to, if we wanted to use this for different scenes, this approach wouldn't work. So we will simply look for a tag name player, and that transform would tell us the position of a player, and where is this placed inside. If you press runner is pivoted a little far from our main player. So what we did was we pressed on a cube, and we could have gave the tag here player, or we went to we went to this stickman for Mixamo name, and it's pivoted exactly upon our player character, and here we gave tag player. So what happened was, we will uncheck this, as this isn't much more scene this only works for one transition, even if you save as a prefab, so it wouldn't be much more adoptable. So what we will do here is look for a tag name player. From there this stickman here So tag is player, and from here we will find the transform component. This will be destination of our enemy agent. This is our enemy, and it has a NavMesh component. This NavMeshAgent component, again, to uh, make a what is this our enemy, make it as NavMeshAgent that can walk on a NavMesh surface and find it intelligently. We have to put a NavMeshAgent component. Here we put it upon a enemy component, just like our player component. Since enemy by default wasn't pivoted, right, we had to pivot it upon, we had to make a NavMesh agent upon sit upon a sit stickman from example, and where and in this enemy game object we created an agent movement script, and here we made a serialized field, this one serialized field, and here we wrote NavMesh agent. And NavMesh agent is only usable if we write this using, if we use namespace Unity Engine.ai. This library of Unity Engine makes this component identifiable, and serialized field means that we can drag and drop. This makes a drag and drop easy. So here inside agent, if this is none, we will simply drag this from stickman from example and press and drag drop it here. Once it is dropped, what we will do is we have a agent component, and we also have a, now what we have is, I will write it here, agent NavMesh agent component, which is intelligent and can walk upon NavMesh surface, which we baked earlier. However, this agent needs a destination. This is our destination, agent.setDestination. Just simple this method. And what is the destination? Player transform.position. And what is player transform? This is private transform, player transform. Right now it's initialized as null, and it doesn't have serialized field, so we haven't given it anything. It's simply null here right now. That's, it doesn't have value. But since we had it player tag named player, so what we did was find game object with tag player tag. So whenever it can find a game object with this tag player, it will get its, if it's not null, that is we were able to find the player component, then what it will do is copy its transform component, and that transform component would automatically, we will set it as a agent's destination only if it lies inside detection radius. So what this means is pretty simple. If I unpause it and take it back to 4, it won't move because inside its detection radius, again I will play it here, it didn't move. This is our enemy, and it didn't bother moving. Why? This is the question, and answer is it has a detection radius of something like this here, of 4, around this, and it is not detecting anything here. As you can see, when I uncomment it, right now the distance is 6.64, and the logic only works if it bypasses this 4.7 to, let us say, 5, and it won't move again. But when I do, if I increase it to 6.64, it would detect this player, and automatically this agent would have its direction, that is the founded this character. And before this we can run a patrol animation. Now if we increase it like this to 6. Now it has found the player, and it will jump directly towards the player. But if we pause it again like this, what we can do is add a idle animation. So when it's doing nothing, that is the it hasn't been able to find the player, the idle animation will run, or patrol animation will run. So by default the idle animation is being played, so we won't play it, but you can play it as well if you want to. And what you can do is, if it has found the agent if it has found the agent, then it can start the tutorial, it can start the animator, it can start like this, start running method we can call like this. And how we will call it, player transform, which is our oops, not this one, our current character. Since the animator component is on same agent movement script, so we will simply get component, and here we will try to find this tutorial play animation on keydom. Again, this is a script that is being used both upon friends and enemies at the same time, so this needs either to be checking for both friend and enemies at both same time, or it needs to be super generic that it fits upon both. So right now when you do this, and here you can call for a function named start running, this one was the animation, and it was accessible like this, so we will press this start, and then so for some reason it is not getting the component. I will tutorial player animation on key down, yeah, this one, dot start running. So this was the method that I wanted to show you, and what this will do is only start the animation of player movement when the detection radius, here I will show you by opening up animation component. Right now there is an idle component, and when I increase this, it should move to armature run by itself. As you can see, it shifted to armature run, and it keeps on playing like this. As you can see, armature run, this is our enemy, and I will show you here again in a second how it works. Again, there are few things, that is the speed of the agent that needs to be adjusted. Speed of agent, and we can do this via a generic parameter, and that will help via generic property, via property, speed of agent via property. And again, this is our agent, and we will increase it to by default, check it and run towards our character. So let's do it, and here it was able to walk. Again, if you see on this screen how it looks bit fast, and animation even though starts playing, but it starts to play little bit late. So there is something that can be done about it as well. So let's pause the game here, and first thing is that we will at the +10 we have an enemy that is not generic, so that doesn't fall right on the template. We will simply use one enemy right now, and once we have perfected this enemy, we will create it as a generic template that can be used upon others as well. So let's save, and I will pause this tutorial here, and we will head over to next tutorial. Thank you.